we go. Okay, so I guess this is technically London Part 2, but hi, I'm Daniel.
And I'm Julia.
And this is going to be Battersea Power Station and beyond, but really beyond. Let's define that for a little bit. So this is London, or at least one section of London, because London is really, really big. But where are we talking about? We're not talking about Buckingham Palace or Hyde Park. Not today. We are talking about down here. This is Battersea. So this is the tube stations, and this is Battersea Power Station in there, and this is Battersea Park, and right over here, that's the Latchmere. We're going to get to that. You're like, what's that? I promise, I'll tell you. All right. So first we have to get to Battersea, and we do that by the tube, of course. So we took the tube, the underground.
And it's labeled Battersea Power Station.
That's the name of the stop. So too easy.
Very easy.
And it's completely new.
Brand new. Everything was like clean,
sleek, and smooth.
Everything was shiny, and
you know they dumped money into this. Okay, this is a deep station.
In the back, you can see, for one, it was a very nice day. That blue was actually what the sky looked like. It was a very nice day.
Absolutely.
There's some condos back there, and the tall smokestack is part of the power station.
So I'm going to go to the next one. This is a much better shot of it. So when we say Battersea Power Station, it once was, not recently, a power station, literally. But Times didn't need the power station, it was shut down, and decades went by until very rich people from
I believe Malaysia was where they were from. That sounds right to me,
yeah. That they bought this thing and dropped a crazy amount of money and turned it into a mall. So now we're going to go and check it out. A couple more kind of establishing shots, that this is what you see when you get out of the station. And these crazy expensive brand new apartments in the area. This, by the way, I think you can see my little cursors hanging out, is called the Electric Boulevard, where even more shops are going to keep being popped up. All right. So, see?
It's a bit of a walk from the actual from the underground station. It's a little bit of a walk, and we wanted to take as many pictures as we could of all the giant condos and Christmas trees everywhere.
Here is you're not crossing a street.
Nope.
It is... And all of this would be lined with shops. We didn't go into any of them because they're expensive, and we are not. And the rest are homes. So there's actually 2 grocery stores in this area, so a bit nuts. Also, look, Christmas tree, remember?
Yes, it was Christmas time.
Right.
Still.
I mean, it's still New Year's
Christmas
had happened.
And New Year's, it passed, but, decorations take a while to come down.
It's a huge tree.
And this is actually the shot where we're standing on the balcony of the mall, obviously the third, I believe it was the 3rd floor or 2nd floor in...
Are we counting ground? We doing this thing? Yeah,
2nd floor, technically, because they started 0 in the UK here in Europe. So this was the tree, and as you can see, I still have an upward shot. Despite we're on the 2nd floor. So, crazy.
All right. So... More Electric Boulevard.
This is the other direction you can come if you're coming from the street and not
is a little dizzy. Let's give them some shots from inside.
Okay.
So right when you walk in, you'll notice this kind of giant 2-story entryway. And this is just more opulence here. So you see this looks like 2 shots here. This black isn't my photoshopping abilities. This is the Cartier. And behind it is the elevators to get you to the apartments that are actually in the mall.
Oh, yes. Condos in the mall.
In the mall, right.
Yes.
Of course they are, right?
And like I said, we were on the 2nd floor. So one back is the Christmas trees. You turn around, you go into the mall, and this is what you see when you walk into the mall.
Right. So let's just show them around a little bit. The mall is huge and has a lot of stores, but the biggest thing is this did used to be a power station.
And if you look up in the ceiling, you can see that they did leave some of that architecture up there.
I think this is a better shot for it because you can see
this
these
giant catwalk going across the
and there's
sides.
Crane hooks still attached to it.
Yep.
And you can see they've left a lot of that intact, both for flair and functionally for some parts of it. And
This-
so that shows you kind of the number of floors. Let's see.
This mall didn't just have several floors. They also had
3.
several wings.
Yes.
So there was a east wing and a west wing, and then there's like the quote-unquote main part, which is what we walked in.
So the way to imagine it is 2 giant rectangles of shops. So this entire rectangle here, there's another one on the other side of this wall. And it's just unbelievable how many shops they have. Also, that's a better shot of it. The shops have crazy high ceilings, because why wouldn't they, right?
And of course, the very top level, which we think was the old corporate offices, is actually a giant cinema.
Yep. And
up
there's
there.
still more coming. Like, even when we were there was still coming soon to a mall near you.
And yeah,
go ahead.
This is just the ground floor shot.
Sorry.
That we finally made it to the bottom floor, and well, there's me on the left, and to
Yay,
the
it's Julia!
to the right is, and you can just see I'm looking up in awe of all those lights and just all the stores. I mean, there's a crazy amount of stores there.
Yeah, I like the scale of this. It kind of gives a definition to how giant it is. It is one of the larger malls I've been in, and it was still filling with more stores. So there's a number of places that you got the feeling that even more was going to be coming in here. So excited to see what their next chapter is. Alright, so this was the original master plan. They had a whole display around it because they have plenty of space. And was this one of the original designs?
I think this is what they, I believe, I could be wrong, this is what they hope to achieve in the next phase. I'm not quite
It's
sure
either
because
that
it
or
looks a
they
little
had
different.
4 or 5 of them that were like the rejected ideas that were funny. And then they had the ideas that, each phase. So I do not remember if this was the rejected or the next phase. So, moving right along. So we've now left the amazing mall that everyone should go see.
It's not all about the mall. It's
it's about Battersea.
Battersea in general, which is a part
Whole
of the
community.
city that's really up and coming. The Battersea Dogs and Cats home was just so adorable. They had huge little park area for dogs to run around. This is not a shelter specifically. It is a place where you can it's like a daycare, or if you're going to kennel your animals, if you're going to go on vacation.
Serves a lot of different
Yes.
features. We just wanted to point out that this isn't even the mall or any of the many apartments, but the whole area is booming. So there's some cranes going on here.
And this was actually a building that they're going to refurbish or renovate and make into something cool. But right now it's abandoned.
So, now for Battersea Park. Battersea Park. I guess at some point I should mention the fact, as we look at some of these prettier shots, the bandstand, that back in 2005 I was in London for months, and I was there because I was studying abroad, and because I was a theatre major back then, I had an internship, and my internship was at Theatre 503 above the Latchmere. And I'm mentioning that because I often spent time, when I wasn't at my internship, wandering around this park. So I'm just kind of showing some of the pretty sights.
Daniel had a lot of fun showing me all the different
nostalgia
features and all the
Yay.
little fun activities people can do. You can actually rent these little paddle
We did
boats.
not. It was pretty cold and windy.
And a lot of people just run through the park, just like any other park, Central Park, or
There's a T-Rex that chases them. That is not true. Don't quote me.
And there are a lot of just little fun activities to do. Oh yes, dogs are all off leash.
I don't know if they're supposed to be, but they certainly are.
They were all very friendly.
We're not snitches. Like I'm sure that
it's not a dog park.
we saw a movie with this one. He refused to sign it.
Yes,
that's right.
That is a heron. Yes.
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 And he was like, I do not do autographs, so he refused to stand near us. There's also more herons in the background.
So from our last photo of the boy and the heron, that's a real heron there.
Sure. So this is the Peace Pagoda. We tried to get some good shots of it. It is actually overlooking the Thames, but we're on the south bank because that's where Battersea is. And I spent a lot of time hanging out here back in '05, which is, I guess, what, 19 years? That's crazy, 19 years.
Yeah, that is.
Anyway, let's move right along. And here we have the Latchmere Pub, and above it, the Theatre 503.
Beautiful shot.
I did not take this shot.
We did not take this
like,
shot.
I took terrible shots because, like, I was across the street and the vehicles wouldn't stop, and I'm trying not to be a jerk and block traffic, so this is definitely Google. Like, this is just Google Street View. Don't give me... Anyway, let's go inside. When we went inside, first one's there.
Yes, we had walked in the minute they opened.
We're such nerds.
And they're like, would you like a beer? And we're like, well... And we gave them the whole story of Daniel's history.
Coming back to, you know... the place that I interned,
and they were so kind. They allowed us. They gave us a teeny little tour to see all the things that were different. The only thing that they asked is that we didn't take any pictures.
Well, I mean,
it.
in fairness, the guy was trying to run the pub, and he only had like a minute. He didn't want us to be like, "Oh, can you wait for us to take pictures?" You know, like, I don't want to be obnoxious to the guy. I really appreciated him giving us a little tour, and mostly everything was changed, but the theater itself, the feels, it's just a small theater above a pub, but you'll see it there first, guys.
And to give some reference to our Hawaii peeps, imagine if Kumukuhua was up a staircase.
Yes.
It's about as big. The audience is just the same amount of numbers. Their front area is a little squishy, but it's functional. And
right.
It's just an awesome little place. And it was really nice to see Daniel get all chibi about it.
But one of the key things is that what they're known for, even now, all these years later, different management's still known for the same thing, is first-run shows. So some playwright you've never heard of, their big break was getting a play put on here. And from there, Olivier's and Tony's and so on, but you saw it here first. That's their big thing. And I recommend everybody stop by the Latchmere and go to Theatre 503. Of course I do.
That's just a little staircase.
Doo-doo-doo-doo-doo.
Now, they
did have
also
some food.
had great food.
We
Now,
gotta
this
acknowledge how
is
nummy.
This is my meal. I had a Scotch egg and their rustic bread because I
course
only
you do.
I only really eat appetizers. That's just my deal.
Well, you like variety.
I
so,
like variety. I like more than one dish. And
Daniel's,
his was absolutely delicious. It was roast beef.
Yep.
With this really wonderful, like, it kind of reminds me of a popper, but it's
I'd like
kind
to
of
point out that Julia looks like she's had a few.
I had a beer, and then
okay, is that how we're counting?
then
they gave you a free beer.
They gave me a free one that they were trying to promote. So I ended up with 2 really big beers, and that's just me smirking because I had already had my first beer. It was gone and annihilated with the Scotch egg. And they're like, "Hey, do you want a free beer?"
I mean, she's not going to say no. Who's going to say no?
Who's going to say no to a free anything, let alone a free beer? So yes, it was 12 noon, and I was working on my second beer. So
I mean, it's midnight somewhere. That's not the phrase, is it? All right. So we've shown you a little bit of Battersea. We really had a fun time. I think this is a good place to end the video, don't you?
Yeah, we have we have a lot more to show you.
Don't worry.
There's a lot more London.
We had to separate it out. We tried to separate it into one video, then 2 videos, and who knows how many videos London's going to have. We do, you don't. So check in next time, and till next time, you know?
Till next time.
See y'all around.